Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Hightop Sports. And of course, this is Champs Corner a day later. I had a little bit of family emergency yesterday. As some of you know, a lot of you guys sent a lot of prayers and love and was much appreciated. Little man had a wicked stomach button and we could not keep anything down. Little worrisome at first. I thought we were going to have to go to the emergency room, put him on IV because he couldn't keep anything down. Little, just so you guys are aware, though, he's up this morning running like a crackhead doing wind sprints, all right? So he is good. It's like nothing, like puke and rally. Yesterday never even happened. But Dad was a little nervous yesterday, I ain't gonna lie. It was not fun, and so we had to shut her down. But we're back in here, ready to rock and roll. Let's dive into Champs Corner. Let's talk all things Florida football, boys and girls. Let's get after it. Mr. Stephen Harris.
Gators,
yes, sir. You were at the game Saturday, man. Talk to us. The vibe, the energy. How'd it look, man?
Oh, it was fun, eventful, long day. Night game, 7:45. My first full tailgate experience. I got there around 12 o'clock, like
Woo.
I said. Judd, soon I get to the tent, out on the front lawn, Judd Davis, he's out there and they got this fireball fountain. And he's like, come on, man, it's like candy. You want one? I'm like, man, let me get some of this food first. I took my first shot 12:30 and I didn't think I was gonna make it. But a lot of people was telling me you gotta pace yourself. So I made it, but it was dope, man. Dope experience. Got to see a lot of fans. Everybody was asking about you guys. Hey, where's Shelton? Where's Dave? I told them I had to step in your place. We try to make it to all the games as a team.
Send boots on the ground. Took a shot at 12:30. He just woke up, guys. This was his first time seeing daylight since that shot. Judd Davis is an absolute blast, man. Ultimate sales guy. Tastes like candy. God. No, it doesn't. Tastes like hell. Okay, tastes like death. All right, let's call it what it is. But fantastic stuff, and we got a lot to go over. Obviously, run the ball.
Yeah,
my man.
Run the ball. I almost put mine on, man. I'll tell you, great minds think alike.
we could have been twinsies. I want to talk this defense. Yeah. We'll talk about some recruiting as well, because that's been an interesting point of fact. We'll actually start with that, and then we're going to, of course, do the video breakdown, which a lot of people love, where we talked. I called you yesterday before we had our shenanigans breakdown just to talk to you about, man. It just looked literally everything that we spoke with Jarvis Moss about, like they flipped a switch after that bye week. Is we always joke, it's literally as if they watched what we discussed, because this Frogs chance, being kind of complacent, being patient, they are now attacking. They seem to be in control. They seem to have a swagger about them, and we're going to talk all about that. But first order of business, this one hurt. This one hurt, man. We got another decommit on the list here. And look, it's like Billy, one thing goes right for him, the other shoe falls. You know what I mean? Like it's you're squeezing toothpaste coming out one end or the other. That's what we're looking like here. So we start winning some football games, and then the recruiting goes. Like that's not how it's supposed to happen. We're supposed to land more. This young man, Joseph, I'm not even going to try to say that, the 4-star defensive lineman, we found him, discovered him, sent him an offer before he was even anybody. And I remember when he committed, because he's like, I love Florida. They came to him when nobody else did. It's going to be really hard to flip me. Here we are, October. He's like, yeah, I'm out. I think Florida's still on his list, but he has skyrocketed in recruiting since then.
And that makes a lot of sense though. But we got to match the hatch. If we believe he's worth it, we got to match the hatch. We got to him early. He wasn't ranked as high, but now his recruiting is skyrocketing. And I'm sure his accountant are smiling at the process with these NIL deals. So it just makes me feel like we got there early, and now he's being offered a lot more, possibly with his evaluation. So if we believe he's what he is, we'll have to match that. And if not, he'll go somewhere else, and we'll reload somewhere else. I believe in what we're getting done up front with the guys we got and Coach Chapman. Hopefully Florida can turn everything around and keep everybody, you know what I mean? And we keep rocking and rolling.
Look, the recruiting is going to be something to monitor over these next few months. Again, people say, hey, I don't really follow it that much. Especially, look, I wait till signing day. I think we're ranked 60th right now. This is not a happy place or a warm place where we want to be. I think we were sitting like in a top 5 class this time last year. Now, we know how it ended. It could fall just as quickly as it can gain. But going from 60 to a top 10, I've never seen it done before in my life. And I don't know if Billy's going to pull it out of the hat here, but he's got to figure this thing out quickly, because, look, we're not winning a lot of games, but the team's looking much better. and you can win some games, but if you only win 7 games and recruit at 60, that's Dan Mullen all over again. You were specifically brought here because you were fantastic at recruiting, which you have up until this point. You even go out and find diamond in the roughs like Joseph here, but now they're leaving. There's a lot of head scratching going on.
Yeah, hopefully, Lagway won't be just the savior of the football scene this year. He'll be the savior of recruiting as well. He's a big draw for guys that want to possibly play for a championship in the future. You can see it on him, that what he's going to do. So hopefully, everything's get back on track. But it's not definitely not what we want. And we would have liked to won more games this year, and hopefully these guys will stay. But in his case, his stock is rising, and it's great for the young man to go out and explore his options. It's early, and I'm sure the money they're giving out nowadays, man, it's hard to turn down, especially if you have another home where you can actually play at. So, we may have to up the ante a little bit, but hey, it's football right now. This is what we got.
Look, to his defense, I feel like it's fair to him to have that opportunity to be truly recruited because he probably wasn't. So I respect it. It doesn't make it sting any less. So right now we have 11 commits. We're 50th on 247. Yeah, we're 50th on 247. And Ben Hanks, cornerback, been flirting with Miami a little bit on Twitter. Yeah. That doesn't look to be very promising either. So if we were to lose that, he's our second highest commit, right behind Vernell Brown. Not good. Jalen Wiggins, he shut his down. Waltez Clark, running back. We've seen what the young running backs have been able to do. Maybe the ball effect might have a little bit of a negative impact, but you can always have multiple running backs on the team. Miles Johnson, linebacker, 3-star. Then from there, it goes down into the 3-star lane there. So, again, we haven't talked about recruiting too much. I really was, we wanted to see how this was going to play out onto the football field. So, definitely something to keep our eyes on and continue to monitor. But let's talk about this game a little bit, man. I want to get your perspective, obviously, being there. All in all, I mean, look, both sides of the ball, I said it on Sunday, I believe. I believe it was the most complete game in Florida football history under the Billy Napier era. What do you think?
For sure. Easily the most complete game.
Boys and girls, this is the part of the show where I make you look just a little more sexier moving forward, okay? Anywhere worth going is worth going in a nice pair, the perfect pair of boots from Tecovas. In the 2015, Tecovas was born out of Texas, created the perfect pair, handcrafted this beautiful, sexy piece of leather to go over your foot to make your wife or your husband go, damn, baby. That's what Tecovas does for you, okay? And not only that, what makes them so fantastic is their experience when you go to the store. You are treated like royalty. They roll out the red carpet. You walk in, beverage in hand. What can I do for you today, sir? Bam! Want one of those. Try them on. Rock and roll. Look good. Feel good. Play good, baby. That's what Tecovas does for you. We are pumped to be teamed up with Tecovas. So be sure to go check out Tecovas. Head on over to Tecova right now. Use the code. Don't use the code. What you're going to do is right now, 10% off at tecovas.com/hightop when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/hightop. Not the code slash, right there. So tecovas.com/hightop. See site for details. Tecovas. Point your toes west.
Just every facet of the game. We could have had more completions, but we got the yardage, we got the explosive plays. You got the run game. O-line played well, defensive line played well. We got interceptions. The only blind spot, pick sixes. But the run back on the kickoff. First of all, fantastic return. I mean, that guy was amazing on that return. I wasn't expecting. I had started heading to the little Gator room to get me some Chick-fil-A at that time. And I look up, I was like, come on, man, we can't get out of here without a score. But it was a beautiful game, man. Fantastic day. The crowd was amazing. They had those guys hyped up, man. It was great to see, man. Kentucky, what they do on defense, and to see us move the ball like that. And man, major love to the O-line, man. I know they got a lot of crap over time, but those guys been showing up, man, and making a lot of money for themselves, man. I'm proud of those guys and the work that they put in, and just keeping their head down and grinding, man. It looks good, man.
Good trench work's never noticed unless it's bad. You know what I mean? You don't recognize it until it's not working. But when it's doing well, it's everybody else's demand. Jaden Ball gets 5 tutties. DJ Lagway over. I mean, look, those guys did their job too, but they had their ability to do the job because the guys in front of them did their job extremely well.
For sure.
And to have 2 freshman guys back there and to give them the confidence, and for both guys for both parties to trust one another is absolutely huge. And like, I keep going back to just this team being completely bought into Napier and what they're doing is incredible to watch. With this defense, again, we've talked about it. We're going to watch them film in just a little bit. But what do you think? You were there at the game. What's the change? Because we talked Monday, and I said, look, here's what is exciting to me. Last year, there were so many issues. We were like, it's not even scheme. Guys were just getting beat. They were getting bullied, and we went to strength and conditioning.
We getting mauled. Yeah.
And so then we were this year when we had the whole flipping of strength and conditioning. Now there is a concern with the injuries at strength and conditioning, but we were like, hey, we haven't really seen it. And this year we're like, well, I don't think the guys are getting beat. They're just in the wrong place. They're just being misplaced, which gave us hope of like, if you fix this and you allow these guys to be them, we should be in good places. Everything we talked about all offseason, the talent's there, the strength and conditioning that based on the data that we received seemed to be there. We just needed a schematic change. They do that, and oh my goodness, it's a flip of a switch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then just, them trying to first of all, Armstrong coming down to the sideline is amazing. Having his energy on the sideline. And I know they haven't said who's really calling the plays, but I think Armstrong is calling the plays from down there. And we have a veteran up top overseeing everything, making sure everybody's in the right position and can relay the information back to them, which is great to me. But just getting those guys to simplify things a little bit. And for me on the edges, the way the defensive ends have been playing has been important because we were getting washed down, and I feel like they made that adjustment. They got them playing a little bit wider on that technique, so they're not just getting washed down easy. And our linebackers and safeties have been coming up and filling those gaps better, spilling those plays, making the ball have to bounce outside, and allowing us to make those tackles. That's been the main thing. And how we're coming off the ball. Our defensive line is not playing timid. They're not playing behind the blockers as much as they used to. They're coming out of their hips and applying pressure and getting in the backfield. And that makes a big difference. When you can make the running back bubble and you got speed like we have on defense, we can be effective and get into those longer yardages where we can have an effective pass rush. And that's been big. And we've gotten out of that 3-down lineman pass rush type of deal. I know we were trying to have more coverage in the back end, but if we can't get pressure, it don't matter how much coverage you have back there. The quarterback's going to have all day to find the holes. And so I think that exchange has helped us because the defensive line and cornerbacks always play on a string together. You get pressure, you don't have to cover that long. I know when 06, our cornerbacks was like that. All they had to do was cover for 3 to 4 seconds and try to find the ball. if you had to cover longer than that, it was a sack. So that's been perfect, working good for us. And shout out to the players for taking the aggressive coaching, and shout out to the coaches for listening and plugging up the holes. And it takes a big man to adjust what he wants to do to what works. You know what I mean? Some people ego get in the way. They're like, no, this is how I'm running it. This is how it has to work.
Sure.
But I've seen the defense make tremendous changes in what they're calling and how they're lining up. And that's been night and day for us.
The line stuff, you talked about it, I want to say a year and a half ago, where you talked about like the young kids coming up want to have that explosive play, right? Where they're just blowing off the line and not having to worry, like you said, be patient and waiting to peak and then go. Yeah. A lot of the line was doing that, which allowed for that O-line to kind of get their position, and we're playing catch up. That was one. Then two, 3-line diamond, right? We had either like a Caleb Banks or Cam Jackson in the center with Banks on the side or a Big Dez, and then maybe like a Sapp. Yeah. Now we've got Banks and Jackson. Then you're bringing in Sapp, Pyburn, TJ Searcy, Justice. Like, right, you're bringing in your exactly. You're allowing your three. Like, we have a phenomenal lineman group in Cam Banks. This is how I always thought it would be. Cam Banks and Jackson with the rotation of Michael Bora, Brian Taylor, Jamari Lyons before he went down, Big Dez, and then on both ends, right? I know they're different positions, Jack and all that good stuff, but just put somebody back there, and obviously one's going to pull back. Pyburn plays, in the backfield a little bit, or will pull back sometimes, but then you're rotating between TJ Searcy, Sapp, Pyburn, and
LJ.
Boone. Yeah. LJ, right? There's just so much talent there. It's like, allow for those guys to be on the field as much as possible, and that seems to be what's happening, which is allowing the linebacker play to step up. And like you just said, when you played, if it's 3 to 4 seconds, the line is disrupting the play, right? We may not always get a sack, but we're disrupting it to make the quarterback to make a hard throw, which allows for the cornerback to be able to do what they do. And look, the
Yeah,
cornerback play has been exceptional, even if we haven't got there. Devin Moore was just basically
yeah,
stuck magnetic to Dane Key around the football field. It was unbelievable to
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, no, these guys are getting coached up well. Shout out to Coach Will Harris
Well, yeah.
and the job he's doing with those guys. It take a little bit of time for them to understand what you're trying to do at the defensive back position, but shout out to those guys. We still got to clean up some stuff, but it's football. Every game is not going to be perfect. You're going to always see something that like, oh man, they almost had us there, but did they get us? Is what matters. The more you can beat them versus the times they beat you is all that matters. And how you play. And they're playing hard. They're playing physical. These guys are making open field tackling is 100 times better. They're making open field tackles. And you know that's been a big difference. We got guys that aren't afraid to hit. We no offense, but we're not coming downhill, closing our eyes at running backs in the backfield.
There was a play, and I think we may see it in the film breakdown. When I saw it, it reminded me of what you just said. I think it was Gates, where they took the outside line, right, versus cutting inside to make the big play, to make the big tackle, which could lead into a missed tackle, which then allows he took the outside route because he knew he had guys to his left.
They coming.
Feed him into the center because that's where my teammates are versus making the selfish play. Like those things get overlooked because it looks like, oh, he got broke. No, he did that on purpose to say, if you're coming either through me or you're going to go that way, which I've got 6 guys waiting for you.
Versus knock your head off.
Yeah, versus trying to make the big play, which may have lost 2 more yards, but I'm guaranteeing you're not getting any yards. That was the difference.
Right.
And that to me was, I saw that, I was like, that gives me goosebumps because this is something that you and I have spoke about. I was like, play with the trust of your teammates behind you.
Yeah, and another major thing that I would point out, I heard, I think it was Moore in his presser after the game, and he said that the guys are in practice every day now are getting on each other. Like it could be a freshman, and freshmen are coaching up veterans if they make a mistake in practice. So that was a big thing for me when I went back for the last scrimmage before the fall.
Yeah.
And I was talking about guys are coming off the field and no one is saying nothing to them if they made a mistake. And I was trying to talk to people and they kind of told me to back up. But that level of accountability is what it takes to win. You need all eyes watching you every time and people coaching you up on every little nuance. Everything matters in football because on Saturday you don't get a chance to make a mistake. So everything has to be corrected. And so when I heard him say that, and that they started that during the all season, holding that level of accountability, that means the world to me just to see them doing that because it was definitely lacking. It pissed me off when I was on the sideline watching it, and I almost left the scrimmage when I saw that I couldn't say nothing and nobody was saying nothing. But to hear that, because the talent is there, you know what I mean? And sometimes you can just feel like we've arrived. You haven't arrived nowhere. You got to put the work in every day. So to hear them doing that, I hope this week they continue to do that. I know they will just from the excitement. Once you get a taste of it and you feel what it's like to win like this, you want it forever. And you just got to remember what you did to get there. And I think those guys are going to be great doing it.
How was seeing DJ Lagway in his first start in person?
It was amazing, man. I sat in the stands. I was with my wife, so we got some seats. It was great, man. He's an amazing kid, man. It was just dope to see, man, the long ball. I haven't seen long passes in so long.
Dude,
and to be in the stadium while it was happening, it's like, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was just, it was an amazing feeling, man. Seeing him do his thing. And then, the first drive, I believe, third down, we didn't get the third down. And he ran out of bounds with the ball. And he was so mad. Like, I seen him swing his arms. I was like, I haven't seen fire from a quarterback like that. He was on their sideline. He was mad that we didn't get the conversion.
Sure.
But just seeing him physically, I could see his anger on him. And then the next drive, he comes right back and is calm. And then after he threw the interception, you would expect for somebody to get down, you know what I mean? But he came right back out firing, man. He was calm. He was poised. He wasn't rattled at all. He kind of knew where he messed up at immediately. And his resolve as a young kid, you wouldn't know that he was a freshman, man.
Yeah, it's unmatched, dude. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing, bro.
It is. Let's get into some film breakdown, man. I mean, I know you got some offensive
Yeah.
line stuff, and we're going to talk about Mr. DG, aka Mr. George, is what we call him here.
Yeah.
You've been beating that drum. I've been beating that drum. Him at right guard, I think, was going to be huge for him, and it's starting to pay some dividends here. I think that's going to be the first play we look at. Ladies and gents, this is the part of the show where I win you some cheddar. For today's prize pick lineup, we get the Thirsty Thursday special, Kyron Williams, to have more than half a rushing touchdown. This man had 2 last game, 3 just the game before that. All he does is score like I do on Days Mom. Anyways, Justin Jefferson, more than 82.5 receiving yards. Sammy D, I don't know if it's because he's ginger and I just feel connected with him, but my man has been slinging the rock. At home, a little reunion with Matty Stat there. I love this thing to be a high-scoring game, and because of that, Cooper Kupp. He's back in action, full go on Monday. Give me the more than 69.5. You know he's going to get 9 catches, all averaging about 10 yards a catch, okay? Absolute lock here. So be sure to download the app today. Use the code Hightop to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is, download the app, Prize Pick. Use code Hightop and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Now back to the show.
Yeah, it's him on this pool right here. But before all of that, I just want you to look at what having DJ at quarterback does for us. Look at these backside defenders.
Yeah, we were good call. Sorry, we were talking about this yesterday. Yeah. The play calling isn't different, but just the fact that DJ is now a part of the piece, it just elaborates.
And that's what I was hoping for Billy. This is his saving grace right here. How we play with DJ, because DJ is his quarterback, and his offense, he's been reluctant to give up to anybody. So if he wants to keep his job, it has to work with Lagway. If it looks like it did with Mertz, there's no way we can keep you in and have you be the offensive coordinator. But you get DJ in here, and just his presence alone, from what he was able to do early in the game, is 6-13 here. But look at these backside defenders. If you look at this, a cornerback out here, this defensive end here at the bottom for Kentucky. If you roll the clip, watch how they have to hold, and then watch that safety at the top too on the right side. Watch how he's sitting there. See how he's coming down in the hole? Look at that safety right there, how he has to watch Lagway right here.
Bottom right?
Yeah, the bottom right in the back. And then the defensive end in that line. They all have to
he's
watch
all shook.
Lagway.
Look, he's basically he's in neutral.
They have to watch it. He can't just key in and just say, I don't have to worry about the quarterback.
You got the cameraman.
The cameraman is faked out by this. That shows you when the cameraman is following the quarterback and then somebody else has the ball, that shows you the effect that one player can have on the game. And then you get ball just cutting it up, doing the thing. But George on this play, man.
Yeah, little no, baby. Look, two pancakes,
man. Yeah, man, hell of a pull. He comes around, get the double pancake with syrup, butter. Maybe it has some strawberry
extra
syrup
chocolate chips and everything, baby. You know what I'm saying? Come on, little whipped cream,
whipped
baby.
Cream. Yeah, man, I loved it, man. And I've been on George. I've been on his head, man. Just telling him he was too much of a. When I met George, I said, "This massive giant. Why are you so nice?" He was just a nice guy. And I told him, being a nice guy is over. That time is gone, bro. You got to get some fire about you. You just can't be nice out there. You got to actually be trying to hurt people. And I'm sorry to say it, but you need to play like you're trying to hurt them. And he received it. And he told me, I said, I got you, OG. Thank you. And I've seen a difference in him ever since. You know what I mean?
Look at that. That gives me goosebumps, man. That's
man. Look, smash.
It doesn't quit.
Smashing.
It doesn't quit.
Driving. It clips the other guy. And he gets the pancake. Watch how you get up at the end if it's on here. Watch him.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, it's not on there?
That's all you gave
me. Oh,
my
God. Oh, yeah. Nah, he gets
up. Fired up.
Oh, my, yeah. Like he scored a touchdown. It was amazing to see, man. Just everything working. And then having Lagway there, that effect of him holding those safeties, holding that backside DN. Because most of the time, the DNs were just crashing off the ball every time we ran it. They're just going straight to the running back. So there was no way you're only going to get 2 yards most if the DN is just crashing straight to your running back. So if you can hold him, then you're holding the backside safeties and all that stuff. It opens up so much for your offense, which I love at this point. Got to
Look,
see more of it though, for sure.
for sure. Look at this defense. Look at the cornerback says throw the ball. Man. It was his cover
We
two.
own you.
Cover two,
Locked up.
man. And we got, like we said, we've got three linemen in the frog. And no one's in the frog. Then 2 edge coming off. I think they might pull out. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're in a 5-man front here. And Gates, this is a great play by Gates here. But this, you'll see the defensive line, the difference in the line, even though we have the 3 down linemen, but we are in a 5-man front, so they have a little more freedom. But you see, as the ball snaps, before the ball gets into their hand, we're making contact.
Yeah, remember
before the ball gets to the quarter, you
it's so fun.
you see the difference. Look at Cam Jackson. Before the ball gets to the quarterback's hands, he's already making contact with the lineman. That's how you establish the line of scrimmage. You got to knock these guys back, and that'll allow your linebackers to flow and make plays. They're running a stretch play here to the other side, but
and look, Piper read it well.
He's slow read, making sure the quarterback doesn't keep it. He's trailing. You get Gates blowing his guy up the field, coming off, making a tackle, solo tackle in the backfield. It's just beautiful when you see it play it out this way. And you got to have guys make great individual plays like this. Open field tackles, getting the guy off you, shedding the defender, getting in the backfield, making a play on first down. That's going to set up those 3rd and longs for sure, where we can pin our ears back and get after the quarterback. But, yeah, just looking at how we're coming off the ball versus earlier this year and even more so last year is night and day. After the bye week,
we look in complete control here. Aaron Gates out here just bodying. That's a tight end. I mean, Aaron Gates is a star cornerback. That guy is probably a foot taller, maybe not an inch or two taller than him.
15 pounds heavier. Yeah. Mono.
Get off.
Yeah, got him. Smash the man, make a play.
Look, he doesn't get through there. I mean, look, everything's guarded up front.
He has yards because we got the 5-man front. We got the 2 linebackers. Everybody has to scrape and get over the top kind of fast. We were giving up a little bit here, but he just makes a hell of a play.
Don't sleep with Pyburn.
Hey, Pyburn might be my new favorite player, bro.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
Back off. I've been told you about
JJ Watt, Pyburn. That's Watt Jr., all that, man. I love the kid. Reached out to him and told him I appreciate him, man. And the one thing he told me, he said, mentality is essential. That's what he wrote me. I said, I'm glad you know.
I love him, man. He's so fun, dude. He's so electric. I love his alpha Gator in him.
He's been playing fantastic. One thing about Pyburn, his technique is great. His attention to detail is great. And he has a knack for knowing where the ball is trying to go. So that lets me know he's smart in that film room as well. He plays with a great motor. I love the kid. Yeah, I'm glad to see him thriving. He was hurt. To come back how he's came back, that's unnatural. So shout out to Pyburn, man.
Crazy. Comeback player of the year right there. What do we got right here, big guy? What are we cooking with?
This is just another play showing the effect of having DJ Lagway.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get the motion here, right? So most teams they decide they want to stay in zone. They didn't want to go man to man. So if you run it back, if you see the motion man coming, they don't follow him across the field.
So they're in zone. Okay.
Yeah. So Lagway just has to read the defensive end here. But even if we had gave it off since they're in zone, we could have possibly beat the man around the edge.
You see that hole right there, yeah.
Ball cuts it right. And if we gave it to the end around, he probably beat the man to the edge for the 1 yard. Because everybody's watching Lagway. He could have gave it the ball would have got the 1 yard. Everybody's watching Lagway.
So that's again, like when you were saying with more Mertz is back here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is what they would normally do right here. See how the defensive end, he's going straight to the running back. And that's what they would do if Mertz was there, because they wouldn't expect us to run the ball. Yeah. They just go make the tackle right there. And it'd be like maybe a 1 yard gain, 2 yard gain. We would have got the first down, but when you have Lagway there, you get these type of plays that can happen. He's reading you. If you break down and you're in that zone, he's gonna pull it and go. If not, we hand it off the ball and he's gonna run it up the middle. We have so many options. Just having him as that threat, which makes the offense look beautiful. It works flawless when you have that threat at quarterback that can run the ball.
It just has more of a flow to it for sure. And again, eventually this guy number 11, he's gonna have to
He's gonna
pause here.
he's gonna stop. Yeah, he's gonna stop doing that, and we'll hand it off.
Yep. So they're biting because again, what they've watched on film. But again, you haven't seen much of DJ Lagway, and then not to mention, look, Mertz can do this too. That's not his first. Mertz would have handed it off here. He wouldn't have tried to get the 1 yard because he doesn't want to get clocked.
For sure.
Wow, that's not his
And
thing.
he can run, and he can run.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's
not
when
his
it's not
nature,
your
though.
thing. It's not your thing. So defense will allow Mertz to run. He could have did that 10 times a game. The defense is just betting on one of those times he's gonna get hurt because his body's not built for that. He's not taking that type of punishment. He's lifting weights, but he's not lifting like, you know what I mean?
And he's not elusive enough. Like DJ gets out
punishment.
and gets out of bounds, right? Like he makes a
Right.
smart play here, and Mertz doesn't have enough wheels to kind of roll out. Like he can get this many yards either.
Correct.
Nothing against Mertz.
So you
it's
end up
just
getting hurt. Yeah.
two different
You end up
quarterbacks.
getting hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, it's two different quarterbacks. And that's why Mertz would have hit his check downs a little bit more and stuff like that. And it works and it's fine. But when you have this type of offense where you got that many jet sweeps and all of that stuff packaged in, you need that threat at quarterback way more, because if we're not, I can bank on just tackling the running back and letting the quarterback run free all game and not hoping, just kind of knowing something's going to happen and he's not as willing as DJ. You would never just go straight to the running back and let DJ have this type of time all game. And so that's the dilemma it puts defenses in, which is great for us.
It's good. Look, I mean, it's very similar to that Tebow-esque era too, where you had to respect all facets of his game.
And no disrespect to Tebow. I love the guy.
No, this
Lagway arm is better.
It's not even close.
Lagway arm is better. So just imagine what he's going to be able to do. Just think Percy.
We may just got canceled.
All the guys. No. But think all the tools he had, the Demps, the Rainey's, Percy, and then they have to worry about you running the ball. That's why we had so many deep shots, and Tebow threw a great deep ball too. Now I give him that for sure.
Not nearly with DJ Lagway. What we're going to hear is the pick six.
He's trying to get canceled. He'll take it back and dig in. But yeah, this play here, just watching our front here, it's 4th and 11. We think we rushed 5 guys here. They ran a great stunt.
I see this
front
little
here.
whoop.
Yeah, I think LJ's in. Was that LJ down at the bottom? Who's that?
Yeah, LJ.
No. That's Gomes. That's Gomes. That's Gomes at the bottom, 34. Just knifing down in there, taking the tackle down with him, spearing the guard in the side and allowing that guy to wrap around. But Gates here, man, on this play, it's 4th and 11. Go back, rewind it back.
Seatbelt lock.
It's 4th and 11. His communication with the guy coming out. He still covers him right at the hash mark. He has inside help here. So his deepest threat is 4th and 11. They got to convert. So he's making sure that the guy doesn't get behind him. But as soon as he drops his hip to cut out, Gates flips his hip, man. This is fantastic right here. How he flips around. He's looking inside, but he flips his hip. Yeah, he flips his hips and drives down on the ball, knowing where the quarterbacks wants to come with the ball. Just being familiar with the route combination. He drives so hard. He actually, I thought he just blasted the guy, but he actually got his hand on the ball and blasted through the guy at the same time. Phenomenal play, man. It was a big play for us. Obviously we were up by 14, but they were trying to drive. You see what? Yeah, see where they're at. They still got a little life in them. I think this play right here sealed the game for us. It was a phenomenal play, and you see get up and he straps the seatbelt on, man. It probably one of the best plays I've seen in a long time, like in the open field. 4th and 11, man to man right there, and he just blasted the guy, man. It was beautiful seeing him work out there. Gates definitely had a standout game.
He did. I mean, dude, we were talking on the call-in show. People were calling and giving us their breakout players, and there's just so many that you could. I mean, Devin Moore was probably mine because again, when you don't hear about cornerbacks, when you don't hear about them, they're doing a good job because nobody's
For
throwing at
sure.
them. And
For
those
sure.
times they did throw at him, you could see that. And again, he was covering Dane Key, which was their guy.
He
And they
played
couldn't.
phenomenal too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all over the place, man. A lot of guys made a lot of great
Bridges.
individual plays, but playing within the defense, it was great to see. Bridges had a nice open field tackle too, blasting through a guy making a play, and then he got the tip ball interception. Great awareness. Heard those guys say they work the tip drill every day, and it's paying off for them. So it was great to see. And then Cromani getting his pick six, another
Too
beautiful
cool.
play. It was a beautiful play. I know the quarterback was a tad bit late, but the way he played the play, it was a beautiful play. Even if the quarterback would have been on time, if he threw it to the guy, it probably still would have been a pick six. The way Kamani covered the guy, it was perfect coverage.
We won't know about Jason Marshall till next week, probably when the injury report has to come out. By the looks of it, it looks pretty severe that it could be long term. So get used to the name Kermine McLean. And for people like, well, what is he going to bring to the table? Everyone knows that he was a 5-star recruit. Jason Marshall was a 5-star recruit. I don't believe Jason's, first 3 years were near what this year has been. This is what the Jason Marshall they went out and recruited.
Sure.
Kermine McLean has that potential to be what Jason Marshall has been now, though, because he's that 5-star guy. I don't know how the development has been, but look at the rest of the cornerback room. It feels like it has really flourished under Will Harris, especially over the Tariq Denton Gates. So I'd imagine that it is up and coming. Look, the news that we heard earlier on in the year about him missing practice, things like that, and making guys run. Clearly, the team was absolutely in love with him after that, and even Napier allowed the team to go celebrate and took the penalty, like go ahead. So that's what's cool to see. Is
sometimes you just have those guys that it take a little longer for. I wouldn't say they're immature, but they have to become a professional in their craft. But they're so super talented, and you just love them. You love their personality, but they can't get up on time. They just, you know what I mean? They probably went to bed early, but they're gonna be late. And they just have that thing about them that they just can't get over that hump. And you got to work with those guys. The way he smiles and talk, when people talk to him, I know they can tell that he's super genuine. So they're giving him that time to develop, which is important. I was that guy, just couldn't get right. I had bumps everywhere, but it wasn't, I would say, my own doing. You know what I mean? It's just kind of how I was brought up. And some of the things I stood for, defending people, I got in a lot of trouble, but I wasn't a troublemaker. People genuinely liked me, and so it took a little while for me to, become a professional at what I was doing. But I see a lot in him. Just the way the few plays he was on the field, he has developed a lot more. I think Will Harris has a lot to do with that. And I believe he can start for us right now if barring all the off-field stuff, getting all that stuff right, because you just can't reward people for I wouldn't say bad behavior, but if you mess up, you got to pay the price. You know what I mean? So you don't want to reward that when you're trying to build a culture. And he has to understand that, but also understand that they have a plan for him and it's coming into fruition. And this is just a little bit of fruit of that. A guy goes down and you get to come in and look like, man, where you been all this time? We could have been using you. Well, now it's like, okay, let me get my stuff together because this is fun.
There's two parts. You said you reminded me of yourself. I wanted to see who else on the team back when you played that he reminded you of, kind of that mentality. Look, I think what people kind of forget is these kids in high school, they get touted around like they are him. And look, they are, but they really kind of act as alphas. They're on an island in high school. And so there's a big culture shock, I'd say, when you come to college that some people don't transition. It may be due to your upbringing, like you kind of said. There's a multitude of reasons. And I think, as fans, we're quick to kind of dismay a player where coaches are more likely to hold on to somebody because they know this is a good kid. We just got to kind of break through, mold them out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was big on respect and didn't tolerate disrespect no matter where it was at. So it kind of got me into a little bit of trouble. But I will always respect people. But if you disrespect me, I kind of lose it. And I love people and I give, so I don't tolerate disrespect at all. But it's hard once you made a mistake, because people gonna do things, and you really had great intentions, but once you've already in that doghouse, it's kind of like you don't get that chance, but it's still gonna happen. So it takes just a little while longer to get out of there. Like, I'm sure he was on the right path, trying to do the right things, and that one day you miss that alarm, is like, I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Because
Or that one day
you
you're
already have
late.
a connotation,
Yeah,
yeah, an image about
yeah.
you, yeah.
So now you're trying to give an excuse for why, and coach like, yeah, I didn't mean it and all this, and none of that matters. You got to do the time. You know what I mean? And we're gonna love you still, but you got to put the time in. And I think his road to redemption turned the corner for him that game. You know, getting that pick six and celebrating with your friends. You're gonna go to practice harder. And I heard Coach Napier saying something about him, like during the time where he was on the scout team, he'd be on the opposite field going against the ones, and Napier was telling the coaches like, "Hey, man, this guy, he's learning the playbook late, but man coverage, this guy can play man coverage." And he said that he was telling the coaches that said he would get like a pick every day going against our ones. So I'm confident in him. Just seeing him get down in the stands, the way he played, he had a good pass breakup. Then I seen him make a nice tackle. He weaved around the defender. Looked like he was playing faster than anybody out there when he made that play. And for his size, everybody say he need to gain a little weight. He doesn't seem timid or scared. For some smaller guys, you just got to know how to tackle. You got to know what you're good at. And
Yeah.
if you're fast, you get there fast enough, just latch on to him, man. Just get him down. You ain't got to blast through him. I just need you playing with hard intensity, getting there and making the play. And I believe he can do that. He has tremendous upside. His attitude reminds me a lot more like D Webb. I don't know if you guys remember D Webb playing cornerback for the Gators out of Jacksonville. So I think we got a great player, a great steal. As the year, if hopefully we get Marshall back, it's not too long.
Yeah.
And we get a chance to see those guys side by side on the field, man. It looks good to me. The man is fast too.
Hopefully it is just a couple of weeks, but it looked pretty. I mean, he was hurt pretty bad, but again,
Yeah,
never
the way
just
he
popped out shoulder.
yeah.
I don't know.
I hope it's not collarbone, because the way he was like dug into the ground. I hope it's maybe just the shoulder came out and not like a collarbone issue or nothing like that, or labrum or whatever.
Well, boys and girls, that was Champ's Corner on Tuesday today. We appreciate you guys being patient for us, and we got it in and locked it in. So be sure to smash the like button, boys, subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow live for the best day of the week. Peace and love, baby.
Yeah, yes, sir. Go Gators.